You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Trading Hour. The market is flat, so there's a 10-point change on the Nifty, 11,351. The Bank Nifty, like yesterday, is doing a lot better. It's up about 0.25%. And we have the broader markets, which are not sulking, but they're absolutely flat. I mean, the small cap index is down 1/4 flat at this point in time. So continuing after days and end of the move that we saw. I think but the star yesterday was banks. And I mean, if you just take a look at it, in terms of the large banks, maybe except which is some 20% away from its highs, Yes, which is 50-60% away from its highs, pretty much all other banks are at their respective highs. 52-week highs. So that's essentially where the momentum has been. And and those two names, IndusInd and Yes, for the last couple of days are starting to participate once again as well. The others have taken a bit of a backseat, but that's essentially where most of the action has been. And I think the same is the case today as well. The difference between what the Nifty is doing and the Bank Nifty is doing was very evident today, and it's out there for all to see today as well. We'll get you lots of trading ideas, of course, and we'll touch upon some important stories over the next 60 minutes. With me is my colleague Ekta. Hi, Ekta.
Hi, Prashant. Yes, absolutely. It's a Bank Nifty outperformance. If you look at it on a week-to-date basis, the Bank Nifty is up over 4% versus T, which is up around 2.8%. And look at the way we've done as compared to the globe on a week-to-date basis as well. MSCI India index is up around 3.3% as compared to MSCI Asia ex-Japan, which is up around 1.6%. So you can really see that sort of momentum play out. And a lot of stocks, for example, HDFC Bank, fresh 52-week high for that stock. You saw the kind of move in HDFC Bank yesterday. So just about consolidating for that particular stock. Reliance Industries at a fresh 52-week high, and momentum seen in stocks such as Yes Bank and other stocks in focus continue to be Zee Entertainment as well as Jubilant FoodWorks. So a lot to discuss over the next 1 hour. Let's get going in terms of the technicals that we're tracking. This morning we have Sudarshan Sukhani with us. Sudarshan, hi, welcome to the show. What are your strategies, both Nifty as well as stocks?
Yeah, good morning. Well, the strategy for the Nifty since the morning has been not to trade the Nifty or the Nifty Bank at the opening gaps, wait patiently for dips to come and then look to buy because the trend is still up. So a dip towards 10,340, which did come and may come again, that's a buying opportunity, but your stops are tight at 10,300. And for the Nifty Bank, I would suggest that today could be a choppy day and it's best left alone. So there is a buying opportunity on dips in the Nifty, and stocks keep on giving us those opportunities. Britannia is a buy. The stock has been outperforming, build a base, broken out from it. Divi's Lab is a buy. Notice that the defensives are coming into play today. Divi's Lab is a buying opportunity, one of the outperformers in the pharma sector when many others are languishing. And M&M Financial is a sell. You know, this small rally in NBFCs now seems to be facing resistance. So two buying ideas in defensives and M&M Financials in the short sell.
You know, I mentioned two banks, private banks right in the top, IndusInd and Yes. Your thoughts, Sudarshan, more left there?
Well, yes, IndusInd is an opportunity for the investor. The stock itself has built a base over 6 to 8 months and is now breaking out. There is significant upside if you are an investor and can wait for a year. I don't have a very particularly bullish view on Yes Bank. I think it will keep on chopping and consolidating. Not much is likely to come out of it.
Okay, well, we have a query for you, Sudarshan. Abhimanyu Dikshit holds 350 shares of Crore, which is bought at 92.5. Should he hold or exit?
Well, this is a difficult question to answer because the stock price is much lower than his end. Not only that, Crore Vaishya Bank has been significantly underperforming. But at current levels, I would assume it's come to some kind of a low and some kind of a support level perhaps. So I would suggest, and it's a bank, banks will outperform. So my suggestion is you stay and hold it for the next 2 to 3 years and you should get some money out of it.
Okay. All right, Sudarshan, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through all of those queries as well as the fundamentals of the market. As of now, we are actually just about consolidating for the Nifty as well as the Sensex. Still fresh 2019 highs, so no real worries coming in there. Bank Nifty is managing to still continue its outperformance, and we've been talking ad nauseum about the kind of gains that we've seen in specific stocks within the Nifty Bank constituents. And for today, leading the way is IndusInd IndusInd Bank, which is up around 3% odd. Following that is Yes Bank, up around 2.7%. But let's talk about other stocks as well. We have Sun Pharma, which is up around 1.6%. We have Bharti Airtel, which is also, in fact, contributing at this point in time. In fact, I think around 20 stocks within the Nifty space currently in the green. But the other stock in focus has to be Jubilant FoodWorks. It is in focus as the promoters have sold 40 lakh shares at 1312.4 rupees per share. Mangalam is here with the details on why exactly this transaction took place. What is the reason for raising this money?
Well, the reason is something which is still not known yet, and this was something that the street was factoring in, especially given, you know, on Feb 5th when the promoters did come out and talk about the royalty and then withdrew it. However, just for today's trading session, the reason why the stock spiked earlier is because the deal happened at 1312 rupees, which was higher than the floor price which was set yesterday, which was around 1276, so which was a 4% discount. The promoters sold 40 lakh shares at a higher price than what the street was working with, so maybe a bit of short covering. From there, we saw a bit of a decline from the highs of the day. Still, the stock is holding in the green. There are a couple of reasons for that. Perhaps, you know, the street is looking at it as an overhang out of the way, and going forward, maybe in the near term, there wouldn't be any supply coming in from the promoters' end. If you take a look at the long-term promoter shareholding of the stock over the last 8 years, from September 2010, the promoter's stake was close to around 61.4%. From there, it's consistently come down every 2 years. We've seen a reduction. 44.94% is where it stood at as of December 18. Once the data is confirmed and we do know that promoters are the ones who've sold and the amount, we'll probably get to know that, you know, right now the promoter's stake has fallen to around 42%. What is also interesting is over the last 3 quarters, the promoters pledge, while still under 20%, the ferocity with which it rose is something that attracted the street's attention. So 10.4% as of June 2018 has now been about 18.4%. That's the pledge on the promoter's stake. So the street is looking at it in 2 ways. The first one, like I said, maybe a near-term overhang is done, no fresh supply coming in from the promoters. The second thing, maybe over a long term, the street may what the street may look at is this structural reduction of stake by the promoters, and that may be a headwind and may cause for the valuation multiple, which currently is at around 41 times, to come off a little bit over the long term. So this is something we'll keep an eye out on. This is a story that we will watch out for over a long period of time. But just as of now, fears of promoter stake supply coming away have taken the stock higher.
I think that same concept actually is with Jubilant Life Sciences
Absolutely.
as well, because if I look at the promoter holding as of December of 2017, it stood at 54%, and as of December of 2018, it stood at around 50 odd %. So maybe that would be an interesting trend to monitor as well.
I think Jubilant Food, I mean, for example, listed in 2010, and the stake has come off quite a bit since then. I mean, the promoter stake has been consistently coming off. But you add those two things. One, that, I mean, recently I think they pledged another 19-20 lakh shares or something, which is a few days ago, and then they've sold stake. I mean, so, you know, is the requirement for other businesses, because the promoters do have other businesses, nothing to do with food or life, but
I think power.
you know, other stuff. They've got lots of energy, power, I mean, other
and that's a trend that we've been seeing over the last few months, right? You know, a lot of companies who have interests in other businesses, they are selling the family silver. We'll talk about that in a bit. But for Jubilant, fundamentally, yesterday they embarked upon a new journey, opened a Chinese restaurant. So let's see how that goes. So it's not just Italian, we'll also talk about the Chinese.
Swing by for lunch, Mangalam? No, it's only in Delhi.
It's
Sorry.
Delhi,
it's only in Delhi.
So I'll have to fly by for lunch if you must.
And that is a problem nowadays. Okay, thanks Mangalam for that, appreciate it. Okay, Zee is the other one which is trading higher. We understand that the deal with Sony is likely to be announced soon. Zee's had a pretty sharp run up from those, I think it dropped to 300, 350 kind of levels, and it's come up to about 450 now. Nisha is here with the details she's picking up from her sources. Nisha.
Thanks so much, Prashant. Yes, a few days back, we had first posted that Sony is negotiating with Zee Entertainment for a stake buy there. In fact, is very interested. Now we do gather that those negotiations have reached the final lap. Remember, SL Group has said that they want to close this transaction by March, April. The pressure is also mounting on them because of the high pledge shares that the promoters have in Zee Entertainment, and that is in lieu of the huge debt that they have taken for SL Infra. So So that amount needs to be repaid, and the proceeds of this transaction will be going in there. So another important development, this is from the pledged promoter share point of view as well. And that's the prime reason which is really driving this particular negotiation as well. We do gather that both are in hectic negotiations at this point. Zee promoters are asking for a price above 500 rupees per share of Zee Entertainment, which is a substantial premium to the current market price and the way it has traded in the last few months. And also for Sony, it makes total sense because they had lost out globally as well. So at the moment, those deal dynamics are really being worked out. Partial stake sale or full control is something being negotiated, and backed by that, the valuations will also be chalked out. But by March and April, we could be having some deal on the table for Zee Entertainment when it comes to Sony, is what we gather at this point.
Okay, well, Nisha, thanks very much for that. That's on Zee. That stock is up around 0.6%, 451 rupees for that particular stock at this point in time. We'll take a break now. But with the news that the Nifty is absolutely flat, the Bank Nifty is managing to outperform. But up next, we have Brent crude, which is at the highest level that we've seen in 2019. And we'll have Manisha Gupta with us. She's going to be probably discussing crude as well as the metal space. We'll have Hong Mei Lee of My Steel Singapore joining in as well.